Hi there, I'm Tori Amos, and you're watching me on Spinner.com.
Hi, I'm Jessica from Spinner.com, and we're here with the always wonderful Tori Amos, who released her first ever seasonal album, Midwinter Graces, earlier this year. So welcome to our studio.
Hi, Jess.
How are you doing?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you again. This year has been really busy for you. You released Abnormally Attracted to Sin, your last studio album, in May, and then you went on this massive world tour. So why make a seasonal album now, and when did you decide to make a seasonal album?
The crazy thing is, after South by Southwest, I popped into New York and saw Doug Morris, who has been my mentor since Little Earthquakes, and we were chatting about his feelings of seasonal records. And he said, I have hundreds of them, but I've always wanted to know what you would do with As a Minister's Daughter, and the fact that you've now traveled around the world and been influenced by many cultures as I have. What would my perspective be? And he didn't say it like that. I mean, he said, Tori, I'm a Jewish guy, what are you gonna do? And by stanza 4, they're trying to convert me, it's driving me nuts. I'm not included in those songs, but they're good songs. And so, but don't make your mother angry. And I said, geez, that's a very tall order. You know, my mom, minister's wife, and then Doug. And then I thought, okay, this is a very big challenge, but I'm gonna try and do it.
Did you have any reservations going into it?
Oh yeah, it can't destroy a career, but it can, well, let's face it, you can lose respect, and people that hope that you stay true to your values as a musician can think that you've, I don't know, betrayed them in some way. I've been speaking for years about the ancient feminine and bringing that into the commercial world. I needed to retain and include these beliefs instead of doing a seasonal record that excludes people unless you agree with the Christian doctrine.
And how did you work to alter the carols to be inclusive and perhaps even modernize those carols?
I had been researching for years where certain songs came from. I began to realize that some of these songs were folk songs or sea shanties, drinking songs.
It's really interesting.
Before they became embraced, assimilated by the Anglican Church. And then as the other denominations were being born, they would need songs. And so how do you get songs without, you've got to be careful, because you don't necessarily want to take the songs from the Catholic Church because you're breaking away from the Mother Church. So they would go to pop songs of the day, hoping if people recognize the music, they'll come out of the pub and into the parish.
The actual recording of this album was done on tour, is that correct?
A lot of it.
Or was it exhausting?
It had a positive influence on everything except being a mom. Because Mark and I worked together, our relationship was intact. But Tash was the one that suffered because she only saw us on show days, backstage. And she was cool about it. She'd say, you know, Mommy, go rock, and all that stuff that she does. But I do think for an 8-year-old, she was 8 at the time, she's got a pretty good sense of humor. And she knew what we were doing, and she wanted to be a part of it, and did end up singing a bit on the record.
What was her reaction to hearing herself on that recording?
Tears. In the beginning, it was tears. And she said, I can't sound like this. And so we worked with her. Mark and I really worked with her privately in order to, you know, get her to not hate what she sounded like. And we all thought she sounded great, especially for her age. But that takes some time. She watched her cousin, though, Kelsey, who sang on something else, and that inspired her. And so she was learning from her cousin, who sang on Candle Coventry Carol, and Tash sang on Holly, Ivy, and Rose.